guys? My name is Michael, and what I have for you today is a brand new video on my streaming / gaming setup of 2019. This is basically an updated version of the one that I posted in 2018. It's about the same time last year. So if you haven't watched it, make sure you go watch that to kind of get caught up to date with how I set everything up. But this is basically me just adding on new stuff, added a new streaming PC, some new lighting as you see up there, that sort of stuff. So first, before I do all that, I actually have to do something. I actually got this bad boy in a little while ago. This is a new power supply. It's an 850 watt power supply for my gaming rig. If you didn't watch my streaming build video, I would recommend go watch that as well if you want to see what was happening with it. But long story short, I put an RTX 2080 graphics card in my streaming rig and left the GTX 1060 in my gaming rig. And the reason why I did that is because, if you haven't pieced it together yet, the power supply in the gaming rig was not strong enough to handle the RTX 2080 graphics card. So I had to order a new one. It's finally here, so now I'm gonna swap them over, and once I get everything swapped over, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to come back and then go in depth with you on everything that I have in my setup, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get to it. Okay, fast forward a week and I'm finally done with the setup. I finally swapped out the graphics card in the streaming rig and the gaming rig. As you can see, the blue LED lights inside my gaming rig, that is the RTX 2080, as you can see down there. And then I got my GTX 1060 in that rig there. That is my Ryzen Threadripper. Again, go watch the video if you're interested to see the specs on it. But yeah, I got all that done and I've set everything up now. It's been about a week. I've been streaming, I've been testing everything. Everything works out extremely well. I mean, I'm not dropping frames other than my bad internet. So that's something that's kind of a good thing when you're doing a dual PC setup. And that's the reason why I swapped, is because I wanted to do a lot of PC gaming. But I didn't want to do it all on one computer, because when I tried it before on that one, it struggled, you know, a good bit, and it's going to in the future as well on any single PC / streaming setup. So when you swap to a dual PC, you're actually taking a lot of the load out the streaming PC, you're taking a lot of the load off of the gaming aspect of it, so you're getting more performance in the gaming and you're getting more performance in streaming. The only offset to that is you're drawing a lot of power. So you gotta make sure that you have ample power supplies, make sure you hooked them up to, you know, good surge protectors, that sort of thing. Because I mean, to be honest with you, it's a lot of money and it's a lot of components. So now the toughest thing that for me was trying to figure out how to get it all set up on my triple monitor setup. I have 2 PCs, 3 monitors. And I plan on doing another video where I go in depth on how to set up an actual dual PC setup. So be on the lookout for that probably in the next couple of weeks or so. But again, it was pretty tough, and I finally figured it out. And what I did is I actually went ahead and I just got a wireless, it was like a $20 wireless keyboard and mouse setup for my streaming rig. And I got a Logitech Carbon, it's G series something, I'll put it up on the screen now, but it's the G series Carbon Logitech keyboard. It's got the G-Roamer switches in it. It's the first actual legit gaming keyboard that I ever got, and to be honest with you, I love it. They're tactile, but they're kind of quiet, and they're extremely responsive, so I really like them. And then just kind of going over to the mouse, and what I got in the mouse is I got the Razer Death Adder Elite, I believe is what it's called. And again, that's one of the best, from what I've read, it's one of the best gaming mice that you can get on the market. So with that setup there, the games feel smooth. I mean, I got RTX 2080, got a really good gaming keyboard, really good gaming mouse, so everything's running really smoothly. I'm getting between 200 and 300 FPS in Apex Legends while streaming, playing the game pretty heavily on low settings, obviously, and then I'm getting over 100 FPS pretty easily in games like Sea of Thieves, Scum, and you know, those sort of things. So the RTX 2080 graphics card is definitely worth it. One thing I haven't tried with it yet is the actual ray tracing aspect, so I do plan on doing that in the future. But I'm gonna go ahead and go over everything. I'm gonna kind of briefly go over everything again. If you want more of an in-depth, you know, piece by piece thing, make sure you go watch my 2018 setup vid, because a lot of this is the same. The only thing that's changed is a streaming PC, a couple of new keyboards, the new lighting and that sort of thing. But to brush over everything I got an Asus gaming monitor in the center. I got 2 Acer monitors on the sides. I have 2 Alesis M1 Active Mark II. These are actual studio monitors, like I'm talking like music studio monitors. So I get an extremely good quality out of those. I really don't need them, but I mean, come on, they sound freaking fantastic. So why not, you know? And then of course, moving on to that, I got my little Zelda cup down there. Got my Nintendo Switch in the center. All this is hooked up, by the way. I got my little Zelda or Link action figure. I got my, this is my XLR. It's a microphone that I actually used to use when I made music and that sort of thing, and I just kind of swept it over my studio rig, and it sounds freaking fantastic. You know, I'm an audio junkie, so of course I gotta incorporate that into my rig. So that's what I got there. And of course I got my 2014 MacBook Pro. Also got my Astro mix amp there. My PS4 Pro. This is new. I don't think I had this when I made the video last year, or did I? I'm not entirely sure. But I got that sometime last year. And then of course I got my Xbox One there. I do plan on upgrading that maybe. I don't know if it's kind of worth it at this point, because I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Microsoft is actually kind of making everything cross-compatible between PC and Xbox. So if you have a PC, you can play a lot of Xbox games moving forward, which is kind of nice. So to be honest with you, it may not be worth upgrading at this point. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the next gen of Xbox anyways. And then of course I got my 55-inch Insignia 1080p TV as well. Now moving on to another new thing that I got. Hopefully it doesn't blind you. This is a giant, it's a studio light basically. I bought it off of Amazon. It was like 40 bucks, I think. It came with a nice light on the inside. It actually has a little mount on the back of it. See if I can show you, for a stand. But what I did is I screwed an actual drywall screw right up above there and just kind of hooked it to it, and it works fantastic. You know, I get a lot more dynamic lighting. I turn off the lights back here. I'll usually turn these guys off, and of course that one up there, and turn that one on along with this one on the side, and I get really dynamic lighting. It kind of makes me pop out in my webcam. And speaking of the webcam, I have my Logitech C922. I've had this since I started my channel, and it works like a champ, to be honest. I do plan on upgrading it pretty soon. I'm probably just gonna upgrade to a really nice DSLR camera with a nice audio output. That way I can record vlogs and videos a lot nicer for you guys, and also I can have it hooked up for my streaming as well. So I can get one of those Elgato cam links and use that. And then of course, moving on from there, pushing this over here. This is my DX Racer Formula Series chair. I bought this in 2000, when did I buy this? 2017, and it's 2019, so it's about 2 years later, and this thing literally, I mean, it's holding up fantastic. There's no tears, there's no nothing. Of course, I got a couple of stands where I was eating food down there, but other than that, it's held together extremely well. I really like it. The only thing I wish it had that other gaming chairs have is it doesn't fully recline all the way flat, which, I mean, if you think about it, you really don't need it, but I'm lazy as crap, and sometimes when I'm making videos or doing stuff like that, I like to kick back and take a nap in my chair. So it actually would help if I could kick back all the way, but again, that's just being nitpicky. And then of course I have my to go along with my mic, I have the Scarlett 2i2 audio interface, which again, I've had this for years. I got this at the same time that I got my MacBook, and I bought my MacBook brand new in 2014. So I've had this thing since 2014, so almost 5 years, and it still works it works just as good as the day I got it. So it's definitely a really good purchase. The only issue I had with it is some software that I had with it kept it like it would, after about 2 hours of continuous use, it would make me sound robotic randomly. And so I had to do some soul searching, or searching for, you know, new drivers and whatnot to figure out what the problem was. And then come to find out it was a driver issue. I was able to revert to a different driver that Scarlett had posted on their website, and that fixed the problem. So again, that thing is fantastic. And again, if you're having that issue of your own, just go look on Scarlett's website that you'll find the fix for it. And then of course I got my little Kingdom Hearts keychain thing here. I found that at GameStop one day, and I really like it. It's super cool. I like these little trinket things. Like I said, I got the Zelda cup, Kingdom Hearts keychain, my little Zelda or Link amiibo, And then of course I got my MBT. This is something I really like about my setup. That kind of a lot of other setups don't have, but I got an MBT power switch. It's an 8-switch power supply, basically. So it's basically a long power strip with switches on the front. And I bought this years ago for this used to be a music setup. Okay, I used to record, and it used to be a music studio and stuff, and I incorporated a lot of that stuff into my gaming setup. And what's cool about this thing is it powers my monitors, it powers my my audio studio monitors, it powers a lot of stuff, to be honest with you, on the desk, a lot of my chargers, that sort of thing. So just coming on and flipping on all the lights and my whole setup turning on is it's pretty cool. I like it, to be honest with you. It feels like I got a lot more control over the setup. It makes it a little bit more convenient as well. But I mean, to be honest with you, I like it. It's a really good setup. And then of course I got my Kingdom Hearts 2 poster over there. I have a Zelda Breath of the Wild poster right there, which I do plan on putting some more stuff over in this corner because it does seem kind of bare. And I also plan on, if you look at these things, I was talking about last year, my other setup, I want to get rid of these things. Like this is like 90s model audio receiver, for like surround sound and that sort of thing. But it sounds so good, I haven't really had a reason to get rid of it other than it just looks old. So I'm continuing to use it, to be honest with you. And also along with these shoot, what do you call them? Floor speakers or whatever for your TV and stuff, for surround sound again. And these things, I bought these at a yard sale when I was a kid. To be honest with you, they still sound fantastic. So I'm just kind of in that state of, don't fix what ain't broken sort of thing. So that's why they're still here. And I never use that thing. This is my Spectrum, cable box or whatever. The only time I ever use that thing is during football season when I'm trying to watch some college football. But I mean, shoot, you can get a lot of that stuff on the apps nowadays. So I'm watching them on the apps and just throwing them up on my TV via the Chromecast because I get better quality. So I mean, I don't know, I may just take that down. I have no idea yet. But this is basically to sum up my streaming / gaming system here. That was a kind of a brief walkthrough. Again, if you want a little bit more in depth, you can go look at the other video as well. And of course, again, I'll probably throw some B-roll in at the end for you guys as well. And I do plan on making a how-to video for gaming / streaming dual PC setup sort of thing. So if that's why you came to and clicked on the video and you're trying to get a little bit of an idea on how to set it up, I know I didn't see that many on YouTube that really gave a good description on what to do and the different form factors and the different things that you can do to set it up. So I will be doing that in the future, kind of going over the trial and errors that I came across and how I was able to overcome those. And also, one more thing, I know a lot of you guys will probably whine and complain. My streaming rig is sitting on carpet. But if you haven't noticed already, I have down here on the ground some little 2x2s that I cut and made a stand. And it already has a stand of its own built into it. So I don't know if you ever looked at the case as a View 71, you can go look at my streaming rig build video. It's actually got a pretty substantial gap between the bottom and the legs. So even with it sitting on the carpet, I still get ventilation. I couldn't put it anywhere on top of my desk, so I made a makeshift stand to set it up another inch or so. That way I'm making sure I get ample airflow. And of course, it cools very well. I haven't had any problems, so I plan on keeping it there. It does have filters on the bottom, so don't worry, there's not going to be too much dust buildup. I will keep a check on it, that sort of thing. But again, if you're watching this video, please do not set your PC on the ground unless you have a stand or something to put it up on. And make sure you got a lot of filters, because a lot of dust and stuff like that from the carpet can get into your system. So just be aware of that. But that wraps up the video, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. And keep a lookout for the next tech video concerning my setup. And again, it's a how-to, so, But guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, great night, wherever you are. Until next time, peace out.